Today on Combustion Chamber, McLaren Senna, Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. Both of those outstanding cars are here today at Cars and Coffee Palm Beach. Let's get after it. All right, let's get things started off right with the new McLaren Senna. This thing is amazing. Now, if you don't know, this is named after Senna, the famous Brazilian Formula One driver. Now, unfortunately, he passed away while racing. But this car is crazy high-tech, purpose-built for the track, but really, really amazing vehicle all around. And it bears his name, so you know it's got to be outstanding if you're going to put Senna's name on this vehicle, and it is. McLaren has just consistently been knocking it out of the park for like the last decade. They've always been a great car company, but to see what they keep cranking out with the 720S, the P1, and now the Senna, this is awesome. And the American spec version has just the dual exhaust right there on top. I believe the European spec has a third type. I can't remember what it's for. But wow. And the styling is crazy. It's over the top, but that's okay. That's a good thing. And if you're curious, is all this big wing and all that, does it serve a purpose? Is it functional? Absolutely it is. McLaren does not mess around in that regard. You know, if you go to Brazil, talk to the Brazilians about Senna, you'll learn everything about him because he's a national hero there, but he's also an internationally respected racer. I mean, if you watch Formula One for 5 minutes, you're going to find out who he is. He was an outstanding driver. And I think this car is an absolutely amazing tribute. But do you like this car, or do you like the new Lamborghini Aventador SVJ? This thing is wicked. I've been wanting to see this car. You know, if you've watched the show, you know I've driven the Huracan Performante with the ALA system, the ALA system, and if you've seen that episode or are familiar with that, you know that the vents articulate these flaps down here for various needs and purposes while you're driving. So it will actually, so like say you're going into a right-handed turn, it will actually help you dive harder into that right-handed turn. It doesn't put extra downforce on the opposite wheels of that turn. It puts it on the wheels that are your whatever direction you're turning in. And this thing, it's a matte green, and the paint on this thing is wicked. I'm sorry, this is this car, I've got to get this on the show. I've got to drive it. It's beautiful as all get out. And if you see the wing back here, I'll show you something. You see that inlet right there? Air travels in there, goes up through that strut. And the purpose behind that is, especially when you break out into a straightaway, air will actually come out. I don't know if you can see it, but we'll see if I can get you a decent shot. You might see some thin vents underneath the spoiler. So, for lack of a better term, what that does is help reduce drag on straightaways. And I know this isn't the correct terminology, but more or less makes the spoiler invisible for that need. But then, once you're ready, you need that downforce, that'll close up, and it'll go back to functioning more or less like a normal spoiler. But look at this thing. I can't get over how beautiful this is. I love the color. I love the lines. It's hard to get it all in a one shot though. This car is much larger than the McLaren Senna. This has 759 horsepower, naturally aspirated V12, all-wheel drive, and the Aventador and the Aventador Super Veloce were already badass cars, but this takes it to a whole new level with the active aero system, the ALA system that they've put on the vehicle. That's gorgeous. Let's get one more look at the Senna. Has a little bit more horsepower, 789, but you can see it's overall a smaller car. I'd love to see these two on a track going head to head. And I want to know, which one is your favorite so far? Do you like the Senna, or do you like the new SVJ? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon for notifications when we go live with videos like this. Thumbs up always works. Sharing with your friends goes a long way. And here we have a gorgeous gold Huracan Performante. Very much like the one we had on our show, only this is the Spider. This is the convertible. Ours was a hardtop. And once again, this car is awesome with that active aero system. And because of the convertible top, they redesigned the back deck here and how air gets channeled into the wings. So these inlets here have been redesigned because of this car being a convertible. But since this one isn't roped off, I can kind of get you a better look. And do you see these vents right there? That's where air comes out. And in the case of this one, it's not a single strut that channels air, it's these two struts right here. So another thing that's interesting about modern Lamborghinis is this, you see this material here? That is something called short fiber technology. It's not traditional carbon fiber in the sense that it's a woven sheet of material. It's small pieces that are pressed and baked together in an autoclave, and that way they get more malleable designs such as this. And right here, this is another Huracan. I believe this is the, yes, this is the rear wheel drive, not the all wheel drive. I really wish they made the rear wheel drive with a stick. That would be awesome. Right here, wrapped in toys for tots from Lamborghini Palm Beach, and the new Urus, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Lamborghini's SUV, new SUV. This, however, is not their first foray into making vehicles, or making an SUV. There's the Lambo, which you can see in some of our other videos. And we'll come around here. This big old and decked out ride with, it looks like the texturing on the textured material looks like bed liner, but the interior is pretty sweet. We'll come around here. A whole lineup of big trucks, highly modified. Got Toyotas. Now check out this awesome Camaro right here. Now this gentleman actually replied to one of my posts on social media, Facebook. I said, hey, I'm going to this show. Do you want to be featured? Let me know what you're bringing. And this gentleman has this beautiful 5th gen Camaro. And this paint was an option. It was called Red Jewel Tint Coat Metallic, if I got that right. But this thing is far from stock. And it's got a lot of custom paintwork throughout. 9/11 tributes to veterans, and really great work. And the space program, you know how much, I mean, you all know by now that I'm a veteran, so of course I support veterans, but I also love NASA. So you see that on there, that's pretty slick. And this car has what I believe, if you bought it, it was referred to as the Heritage Grille. I like this grille better than the stock grille that came on a 5th gen. It reminds me more of me and my dad's 67, and he's got that classic 1st gen SS badging. We come down here, look at that. And there's just gorgeous paintwork throughout. And look at this interior, check that out. That's the two-tone seats, that's pretty wicked. And along the center console and accents on the dash is a red carbon fiber material. And on the hood, where your rally stripes would be, or back in the 1st gen, I think they were actually referred to as Z28 stripes, or racing stripes, whatever you want to call them. But instead, this gentleman has the American, bald eagle and the flag, and that's awesome. Yeah, this thing is, and I love this color. Out of all the 5th gens, this and Synergy Green are my favorite colors. So he's got chrome accents around the backup lights, and this has the I don't know if they called it the sports appearance package when they put it on this car. With the 4th gen, if you got the extra body molding along the side like this one has, it was called SAP Sports Appearance Package. But I don't know what they call it for the 5th gen. Just look at this. And he's got the classic 1st gen badging there. I think that's pretty cool. And he's got the doors, the scissor doors, or whatever you like to call them. And on right here, look, he's got another painted accent. And this thing is, wow, there's a lot of love put into this. So yeah, if you want to be featured, just, you know, when I post, say, hey, I'm going to be at this show, and I'll come and check out your car. As we come down this way, we have even more Camaro, a lot of 6th gen action, 1LEs, ZL1s, and these cars are powerful. I think, you know, 15 years ago, you said they're going to make a Camaro with 620 horsepower from the factory. You'd have been laughed out of the room. But now they're doing it. And I love the wrap on this one. I love that color. Kind of reminds me of a maybe 60s kind of color. This car is beautiful as well. I love the wheels on this. I mean, he's got aftermarket performance for sure, but it's not so much a straight-on black. It looks really nice. So there is just a whole huge array of Camaros out here. They must all be in a club or something. Pretty excellent stuff, though. Lots of 6th gens here today. A few 5th gens. Haven't seen a... Actually, I have seen a 1st gen. We'll go check that out in just a little bit. And right across from the Camaros are all the big Ford pickup trucks. Some are bringing out toys for the toy drive, and decorating it with all the, you know, Christmas stuff, the tree. That's pretty wicked. And they come down here, lifted, and got brush guards, and man, I like that green. It's like a really nice metallic. I think they also paint the Mustang with it. A lot of big trucks, and I like it. That's what I like about this show, is it's got a huge turnout and lots of different rides. Ooh, now this right here, if I had to pick a favorite, it's always the classics with me, I guess, and Lamborghinis, but that's pretty wild. That's cool. We have the Roush F-150. These are supposed to be pretty wicked. Supercharged by Roush there. Very, very cool stuff. And then over here we have a military Humvee. You probably call it a Hummer if you're in the civilian world.
Yeah, actually we're gonna go to Twin Peaks.
And you've got three of these. Now I've worked on these, I've driven these, and it's cool to see them out here, but if it breaks, I ain't fixing it. But the one right there, the 2-door with the open bed, that's the funnest to drive, at least in my experience. We come over here, check it out. You like Jeeps? We got Jeeps. It's a gorgeous Rubicon. 3 of them on each other's wheel. You know, you see a lot of this at shows with the Jeeps, and you know, they'll be on a rock or something like that, but this is on each other's wheel like that. That's tricky. You got to be a good driver to pull that off. Have a little bit of experience there. That is very cool. And it looks to me like the gray one right here, he's got the bed liner material spray on it. Now here's something you don't see every day. A slammed Jeep. That's pretty interesting. Got big wheels in the back. Looks like he's got a he's got a GM engine in it there. And this is very, very cool. And here we are on Mustang Row. A few imports, a few Focuses, but mostly Mustangs. We do have some crazy looking imports right here that are kind of tucked in with the Mustang guys. But we've got a lot of Mustang action right down here. Got your classic Fox body 5-liter. This one's very clean. You know, these are really affordable too. They make great drag cars. Have the latest iteration of the 5-liter. It's got that new front end. It's a little bit more narrow right there. But this, yeah, there's a ton of Mustangs out here of all different generations. Some modified a lot, some stock. And you know, you've got now you can get a Mustang with a turbo 4-cylinder. Of course, you can still get the V6 or the 5-liter V8. So, I mean, you look over here, this whole area is Mustang, just packed. hey, one of these does not look like the other things. Pretty wild stuff. So a lot of Mustangs here, a lot of great cars, and more Jeeps. I'm going to focus on these Jeeps for just a second because in the last Cars and Coffee Palm Beach video, they're like, more Jeeps. Okay, I'll get you more Jeeps. And if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon for notifications when we go live with new episodes. And thumbs up definitely helps. Sharing this with your friends is also very awesome. Have the Stormtrooper here with a sexy lady Stormtrooper there. I'm sure she can't aim either though. Skull Crushers. This is more like a pickup truck, but very cool, very modified and jacked up. That's awesome. Wrangler Unlimited with another Jeep parked on its wheel, like we saw earlier. That's wild. And even more Jeeps. If you guys leave a comment, I'm gonna try to fulfill it the best I can. So a lot of these have been modified. They have the removable top. You know, one of the things I like is how you could remove everything off of the top. I don't want a child seat if I get a Jeep, but but this is pretty wicked how you can remove all of this and put it back. Lots of great stuff and lots of just a ton of aftermarket accessories. Look at the work inside the wheel well here. Huh? Now that's detail. And we have imports. 240 SX with a big old turbo on it there. Lowered aftermarket wheels. Now I will tell you something, some of these cars, import was never really my scene. And some of these cars that are now being allowed into the States, you know, they just weren't something I grew up with. So I'd love to know your thoughts. Which import do you like and why? Look at that turbo there. Woo. Now check this out, an LS engine. You know, a lot of people do that. They take these LS motors and put them into everything, but it's because they're cheap, they're powerful, they're reliable. There's endless amount of aftermarket parts for them. Got another turbo setup here. The front off of the car is your intercooler. Pretty wild. So, just a whole variety. There's stuff here, like I said, especially in the import scene. I don't know a whole lot about it to you know, talk about like I would like a Camaro or something. But wow, some of these are really, really clean and really well done. Yeah. Turbo seems to be the big thing. And I love this, the inside guts of a rotary engine. That's pretty cool. A lot of people don't know how these work, and they don't, you know, it's not as common as other engines like your V6s or your V8s, but it's actually a really, really brilliant design. And it's cool that they've got that out here right now for people to see. We'll come back down this way. Got some BMW action and some classic trucks. All right, can't forget about our truck guys. Lowered Chevy C10, a 383 stroker in it, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it is 383 stroker. It's what we have in our 67 Camaro, actually. So, come over here, got the silver Apache. Now this is a gorgeous truck. I love old trucks. Now, all three of these trucks here are really nice, but this one, I just really like how it's set up. Looks like it's got black 5th gen Z06 wheels. What I mean by 5th gen is 5th gen Corvette Z06 wheels. And another gorgeous Chevy pickup here with injected, you know, some modern horsepower. And I love these wheels. I don't know what you call them exactly, these big dish wheels. but I really like it. I like the rough kind of matte finish that the exterior of the vehicle has. And we got this bagged BMW M4 in a gorgeous, gorgeous color, and the wheels work really well with that color. So we've talked about bagged vehicles before. Some people just slam their rides and have the negative camber and they just hit everything. They're constantly bottoming out. I'm gonna take a wild guess this one is probably bagged though. And what I mean by bagged is basically inflatable bags that raise and lower your suspension. So you can come to the show, drop it to the ground, you can have the stance and that negative camber look you want, then you can bag it, bring it back up and drive off the show without constantly damaging the front of your car or the undercarriage. And look how beautiful this car is though. You don't want to damage something that looks this good. It has a sort of a back seat. But yeah, really, really good looking car. And yeah, I'm gonna say it, I like the wheels on this. Like the color of the wheels go well with the blue. Let's get a little sunlight on it. Yeah, they've got a sort of a pearl, I wouldn't say pearl, it's not a matte finish either, just very fine metallic finish on the wheels. So it looks great. A lot of imports out here today. Toyota, Nissan, Hyundai. You've got your Z cars here, your 350Zs, your 370Z. These are actually really nice cars. A ton of aftermarket parts for them. A lot of fun. This one has got a couple coins in it. Pretty nice. Shelby Raptor. So not only is it already a beast off-road, check out that suspension in there. But it's probably got a lot of added power too. I want a go-kart.
Hey guys.
That's pretty cool. And right here, we've got a Chevy SSR Super Street Roadster. We had one of these on our show. It was actually one of our most recent episodes. I'll link to it below, or you can check it out. I really like these. Now, they don't get their due, I think. They weren't as popular as other vehicles, but they're really awesome. And you can see it's I don't want to say frozen is the right term, but it's a hard top convertible. So the top will fold into the back, and that'll close, and now you've got a convertible. And I've always liked these trucks. They first started out with a 5.3 liter Vortec engine, and then they eventually got the LS2. And SSR once again stands for Super Street Roadster. I believe, I could be wrong, but I think this is the 5.3 liter truck engine. So there's a card game on the bed of the truck. Now, of course, the doors don't open this way from the factory. This is one of the many modifications this particular SSR has. He's got the poker stick shift there, or actually it's an automatic, but it's got the dice and the poker chips. And playing cards is the theme on this one. Check it out. This is the poker game in the back of the SSR. You got Barbies, you got Minions, you got princesses. That's pretty wild. I like when people do kind of crazy stuff with it, just odd, random stuff. Porsche 911 Carrera S. We have a Porsche surprise for you guys coming up pretty soon. So before the year is out, I'm going to tell you guys, I can't give it away. I can't give it away yet, guys. I can't. I'm just going to tell you, it's one of the best driving experiences I've ever had, and that's saying something. I've driven a few cars, if you haven't noticed. Classic Porsche. This is gorgeous. There's a movie called No Man's Land. It's just basically, it's just an 80s action movie with Charlie Sheen. You've got your 80s synthesizer music, and it's basically all about Porsches. It's just it's a Porsche fanboy film, basically, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. And right here we got a classic second gen Trans Am in gold. Oh my God! Looking good. I love my F bodies. Y'all know that. I absolutely love them.
Happy birthday, bitch.
That was classic. Look at this highly modified Jeep here. This is very wicked looking. Classic Land Rover, and AGS wraps. Let's check out some of these rides here. Okay, the ZL1 1LE Camaro I absolutely love, right? I think it's a great car. I love this green wrap they've put on it. You probably saw this on our social media. If you don't know what that is, it's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're there as well. And we photographed this car a couple of shows ago. But I actually really dig it. I like the color. I like that it's bright and it's got the texture accent going down the entire length of the vehicle on top. Then you've got the Hellcat wrapped here. And
That's a white car, by the way.
I know, it's a white car underneath this.
If you open the door, you'll see it.
All right.
Open the door.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Very friendly people. Oh, wow. It's a white car, but it's wrapped. Look at this.
One here's silver.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. So we've got the carbon fiber look here. My favorite color interior seats for a Challenger, that brown leather. Y'all know how much I like that. And this is a silver car underneath. You just open the door. Beautiful Porsche parked right next to an Aston Martin. And you know how much I love these cars. I talk about them quite often on the show. We've had a DB9 on the show. It's this beautiful light golden color. V12 powered like this one. Of course, this is in excellent condition, but when do you see an Aston Martin that isn't in excellent condition? And this one's looking great. Right next to it, a Jaguar F-Type. Not to be confused with their SUV, the F-Pace. I've driven the V8 version, the Coupe, and the convertible, both V8s. Really outstanding car. A real big and necessary step forward for Jaguar. And this car was a lot of fun to drive. Oh, this has got a manual in it. Wicked. The ones I drove were automatic. I mean, you've got you've got paddle shifting, and you can throw the automatic into a drive mode that you could shift yourself. But no, that's wicked. I'm glad that manufacturers, I know Porsche's new car has a stick. You can get Audi R8s with the V10 and made it to a stick, if I'm not mistaken. Maserati GT, we've had this on our show. Not this particular one, mind you, but we've had an episode of that. Gorgeous blacked out Grand Sport Corvette parked right next to a good looking, great looking Nissan GTR. A lot of modern power out here today. And the new Acura NSX with the Joker. These are pretty cool. Very, very stylistically and power, very different than the old NSXs were. This thing is wicked. Yeah, I'd like to drive this. It's RS, got Hydra Motorworks. Okay, heard of them. I bet this thing is quick. Come down here, we've got a second gen Audi R8 in a really neat blue. And this one's packing the V10 in the back.
1,200 HP.
And this one's an automatic. And it's got the Monsters Inc. in there to match the car. Classic Ferrari. Get your Miami Vice fix on. Beautiful car. And looks great today. You know, you see some cars, you're like, oh, that was good for the time. But this still looks great today. This has the 2 mirrors. If you remember the Miami Vice television show, they had a white Testarossa with just the 1 mirror. But this car is beautiful, in great condition, of course. I mean, the people who have these take ridiculously good care of them. But the lines and everything, it's just, this car is awesome. One of those 80s poster cars. You know, you had that and a Lamborghini Countach, as you watched Miami Vice or Cannonball Run or something. So we got Lexus, Nissan GTR, another Maserati. I can never pronounce the name of this one though. It's like Jalibibi. Before we pass it up, let's check out the Bmw I8, their electric car. Very wicked. Beautiful car.
free to get inside.
Oh, all right. They said get inside. I would love to get inside, but with the music playing, YouTube will flag the video for copyright violation. Yeah, but thank you anyways, though. I appreciate it. And we come down here, Bentley Continental GT. I believe this is, yeah. Got a really interesting wrapped Roush Mustang here. Got that iridescent kind of look to it. Parked next to a McLaren 570S. Wicked car, wicked color. Ferrari 360. Parked across some really nice Bentleys and Rolls-Royce cars. Now this is interesting. I haven't seen this before. It's usually all the way down or all the way up. Because if you try to grab it, it jumps down at the body, and this door, this tip of the door you see will close to prevent theft. And there's a whole process you have to go through to get it to come back up, or you can manually trigger it to close it and open it as you need. And this has this is the hood arm. It's called Spirit of Ecstasy, and this one happens to be black. So is this the, what do they call this version? Oh, I don't know, but it's pretty wicked. And right next to it is the Ferrari F12 Tdf, great looking car. V12 powered. I really like the line. It's probably one of my favorite Ferraris just from a looks perspective. It's just an aggressive, big looking car. Well, it is big and it is aggressive. Well, let's come back over here. We got 599 GTO right here, parked right next to a convertible Huracan with a lot of aftermarket work done to it. Typically, you know, people tend to keep these cars stock, which is fine, but you got people that kind of take it to the next level with aftermarket body parts, interior. So definitely far from stock. What is interesting though is, unless they had custom orange stitching put in or something, you can get the seats with this pattern if I'm not mistaken. They do come with some pretty gorgeous interiors. Has a custom box made there for the subwoofer, right by your head. But pretty slick. And it's about what you want to make it. So a gorgeous metallic orange Gallardo, not Gallardo. Come down here, a wrapped Aventador, and then an Aventador S, and a Xbox Huracan Performante. Remember, you can always tell the Performante has the unique front end right there with your active arrow flaps right in there, and the wing. And you can get some aftermarket wings, but they do not look like this. Gorgeous Lamborghini Diablo VT, 12-cylinder. And what do y'all think about this show? Do you like it? You come here? You hope to come here because it's huge. And if you like what you see, absolutely hit that subscribe button, the bell icon for notifications when we go live with new episodes. Thumbs up always works wonders for us, and it just would mean a lot, and especially sharing with your friends if you like what you see. Now check this out, the Mad Max BMW. Pretty wicked. Got your Gatling guns, your nitrous tanks, your ammo cans. Pretty neat. Got people revving up here a little bit. This is pretty wild. I think this is probably the coolest BMW I've ever seen, because I like how people take vehicles and make them their own, and this guy's gone all out. We've shot this before, and it was a lot of fun. If you want to see photos of what we got going on, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. If you really like us, you'll hit that subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications when we go live. And that thumbs up and sharing goes a long way. Another beautiful classic BMW. Talked to the owner a little bit today. He was on the show, and you know, I said some good things about how clean his car was, because it is very clean. It is very beautiful, and in great shape. we come down this way. Let's go check out some Cobras. And no, not that corny 80s movie with Stallone. Shelby Cobras of all kinds. And this is where they come, they park. I love the lime green there. 427 powered, which is the standard for these. Beautiful black and green stitching. Powered by iconic 427s. That's pretty cool. You can see these all are pretty unique, and every owner's kind of put their own take on it, with still being, you know, kind of tradition. They haven't gone, you know, way overboard with anything crazy, but you never see that with Cobras, really. And as we work our way over here, we've got some Hot Wheels edition Camaros. We've got this 5th gen right here. We've got a classic Corvette, and we've got this 50th anniversary Hot Wheels Camaro. So Camaros, Corvettes, we're kind of working our way into the modern and classic muscle area. Another anniversary edition Hot Wheels Camaro, parked next to a beautiful classic Corvette, getting a lot of attention here. Got a Rally Fighter here. It happens to be for sale. If this looks a little familiar to you, you may have seen these in what I believe is the 4th Transformers movie. Come down here. Classic pickup truck. That thing's pretty sweet looking. And I like the diversity of this show. You got this classic pickup truck right next to this 911. And look at this. Now tell me this isn't beautiful. Classic American icon there. Beautiful two-tone silver and this kind of aqua blue. Really, really gorgeous. LS7 powered. 427 modern horsepower in there, so he's got a ton of power. He's got all the reliability, and you know, you can fire up the AC and not starve the motor of power. Right next to it, I love these 2-door Cadillacs that have got the supercharged LSA motor in it. This is pretty wicked. It's well over 500 horsepower stock. I don't know if this one's been modified or not. Actually, I think I see headers. I think. So I bet this thing's pretty wicked. Volkswagen Karmann Ghia, from sort of like the one in Kill Bill. Classic Volkswagen van. Right next to a 3rd and 1st gen Camaro. I love the 3rd gens. I don't care what anybody says, I love them. I think these are great, great cars. There's my GTO, a little on the dirty side today. And we come over here. My favorite year of GTO, however, is 1966. And this is a 1966, definitely modified. Of course, it's got the shaved door handles and some other things, as you'll notice as we walk around. But how do you tell right off the bat if it's a 66 versus a 67? And that's the rear end. My favorite design feature on the 66 is this arc here and these, what I call pinstripe taillights. But this is, from a totally looks perspective, 66 is my favorite year for the GTO. And we come around, beautiful, I guess what in Texas we call burnt orange, but it's a nice orange metallic. Shaved door handles and locks. Very clean interior. Stick shift car, nice. And let's take a look under that hood. Making hippies cry. So it's not just looks, it's a lot of power. This is really well done. And check it out, flames on the interior, on the wheel wells. It's pretty cool. This car has really got a lot of hard work in it. It's really amazing. As you can see, there's a ton of classic late model muscle. Let's go over here. I want to show you this Camaro. You may have seen this before. We posted a photo of it on Instagram and Facebook. By the way, photos from the show will start going online immediately and be available throughout the week. So more and more will be going up every day on our Facebook page and on Instagram posts. So, 3rd gen Camaros, you know I love them. Love the 3rd gen F bodies, but this one has been turned into a giant rolling chalkboard. So it comes out here as a clean slate every time that I see it, and you're welcome to ride on it. So people put little messages and their Instagram handles and all that. So that is pretty neat, and I like that. It's a hell of an idea. Just look how massive this show is. Really great turnout, really great event. I mean, just look, we're just walking down a random aisle here. We've got, you know, more Mustangs, a Dragon, Corvette there. Is this a Callaway? Okay, it's got a body kit on it and all that, but it's not a Callaway. I thought it might be, but still could be. No, it's not a Callaway. That's okay though, it's still nice. I like it. He did his own thing with it. So just a ton of excellent stuff here today. So yesterday was our 2-year anniversary for the show. Our first episode went live yesterday. If you're watching this on December 2nd, that would be December 1st was our anniversary. Really nice. And if you like what you see, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notifications. I want you to be able to see the episodes. We've got professionally shot episodes as well. Check out the channel. Thumbs up. Share with your friends. Check it out. Buick Grand National. We had one of these on the show that was like pretty much every Grand National you see in excellent condition. These cars are really highly coveted. It's probably the only car from the 80s you could call a muscle car. A lot of power for the time. Still a hell of a fun car to drive to this day. Really, I'm glad this car got made. Okay, here we got this gorgeous slammed Cadillac land yacht. I love this car. I love big body cars. I like big butts and I can't lie. I might get flagged for that. Guys, you know I love my drag racing. Check this out. Classic funny car. Now how would you feel about sitting right behind that? You think you got what it takes? Go race with the NHRA? This is pretty cool. Actually very, very cool. Here's another hot rodder right here. It's very cool. And back over here we got members of Outlaw Garage. We're going to get around and check these out. Gorgeous orange and white 2nd generation Camaro with a monster blower and engine in this thing. Look at that. Tell me that isn't wicked. And I love the split bumper 2nd gen cars a lot. So this is one of my favorite body styles, and it looks gorgeous in this orange. Absolutely gorgeous. $572 blown. Holy. Whoa. Gotta watch my language on YouTube now. So, another Outlaw Garage car here. I don't know if all of these gentlemen are with Outlaw Garage, but I know that these 3 are. This 2nd gen, that Corvette, and that 1st gen Camaro down there. So you got your drag slicks back here. Vehicle's been tubbed. I like this slogan back here. Can't say it on YouTube, but you can read it. Now these guys come to a lot of Orlando shows. They're a lot closer to Orlando than I think they are here at Palm Beach. Hear that rumbling? It's the most powerful go-kart in the world. They got these little speakers playing that you know, high cam or big cam sound with high lift, high duration, you know, which I do badly. I know, license and registration. It's a 1967 Camaro with just tons and tons of power on it. Woo. That's amazing. Gorgeous. 1st gen, 1969. I love this green. This green, it looks wicked. And it's packed with modern horsepower, the LS9 engine that you would find in a ZR1 Corvette, a 6th generation ZR1 Corvette. Once again, I think this is a good combination. I love classic styling. I love classic cars, but if you want reliability and a ton of power, you know, you go with that modern power plant. I'm not saying carbureted engines are bad or anything like that. I own one, but I ain't gonna say it's always doesn't give you fits from time to time. Another very popular car here at Cars and Coffee Palm Beach. Now, how many of y'all know what this is? I want you to leave a comment down below if you know what car this is. I will tell you, it's powered by a 3.5 liter turbo engine, so that might be a little clue for you. But totally its own ride here. Beautiful orange metallic, big rims, nice stance. Yep. So pretty wicked. And what's it based off of? That's even a harder question. If you know, let me know in the comment section below. And we're back here with the MCLAREN Senna and the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. Out of these two cars, I want you to let me know which one was your favorite from today's show. And if these weren't your favorites, which one was? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm gonna say it, y'all, don't get mad at me. Lamborghini's got my heart after driving a few of them, so I really like this gorgeous SVJ. But I definitely would like to drive both of them. That's both of them on a track. That's where you make the best decision. I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in to another Combustion Chamber Live today. And I want to thank Cars and Coffee Palm Beach for putting on yet another outstanding event. Which was your favorite car from this video? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you like this episode, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and bell icon for notifications. And if you want to follow us on the rest of our social media, we're on Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.